Hi, this is Kathy with Lone Tree Rustics. For this cute little project, what I did was I used 8 regular size clothespins, and I went ahead and used stain on this. I used a gel stain that was coffee colored. You could use any stain that you wanted though. Just be sure that before you stain, go ahead and take the metal brackets off so you just have the clothespins themselves. Once I had those stained, I went ahead and grabbed a wood blank I had picked up at the Dollar Tree. You can see it's a 5x5 by 7.5. I then grabbed my folk art paint in the color of burnt umber, and I went over the front and the sides of the wood blank. I wanted the background to look a little rustic, so I went ahead and decided that I'd do the chippy paint method. With this method, you want to make sure that your bottom layer is very dry before you proceed. Then there are several ways to do it, but with this one, what I did was I took a tea light candle and I took it out of the little metal casing that it was in, and I'm rubbing it along the edges of the project, and then you'll see me rub it in areas where I don't want the top layer of paint to actually adhere. I wanted to mention here that Dollar Tree also has those tea lights back in their candle section. So once I got all the wax in the areas that I wanted, I picked up my folk art vintage white paint and I applied it with just a bigger brush, and didn't really care that it was a little streaked looking because I wanted to go ahead and make it look more aged and more rustic. Once I had applied just the vintage white paint to the top of the project, I did leave the sides brown. I took a scraper, and this is from Cricut, but they also do have a little scraper at Dollar Tree that's very similar to this. I didn't use a metal because I wanted it kind of on the lighter side. I didn't want it to be too aggressive. So you can kind of see how I scraped around the sides and the middle of the project to achieve kind of the chippy paint look that I wanted. I then took my little mini sander and just went lightly over the project and then wiped off and cleaned up before I proceeded with the gluing and placing of the little wooden clothespins. As you can see, I had used the little metal ruler to make sure that I started off my project and somewhat in the center so I didn't get kind of out of balance. I then used 7 of the half clothespins, I guess you would call it, on each side, and then 1 in the center. And when you're finished, you'll actually have 1 little piece left over. I like to always have a spare just in case. Now that you kind of have it laid out how you want it, what you would need to do is take some stick fast. It's CA thick. Works very quickly, and you just want to make sure that you just put a small amount. It really doesn't take a lot, and work your way down on this project. I found that I was having difficulty, so I went ahead and move those out of the way. So as long as I had those first ones in place, I was pretty confident as I went down and placed. So as you can see, just go back and forth as you shape your Christmas tree there. As you're finishing this little tree, one thing you might want to think about is how you're going to embellish it. What I wanted here, because I wanted it rustic and just very simple, is I had pulled out some stars from my craft stash, and I have ordered in the past a lot of rusty wire and rusty stars off of Amazon, so I wanted to go ahead and use one of those. So you can see that I kind of worked some wire through and curled it a little bit on the ends, then glued that into place. Then you'll see I just made a simple jute bow, and you can get the jute also at Dollar Tree. But guys, isn't this so cute and so rustic looking and so easy too? Hey, thanks for watching, and make sure you like, follow, or subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Bye y'all, happy crafting.